Good morning, guys. Thank you for hanging out with me. It's first thing in the morning for me today. And I have a day off, and a day off from making videos. Apologies if I'm whispering. I'm trying to stay quiet. And I have some upgrades for my computer. And I thought it might be fun for me to try and film me trying to figure out how to get them in there. So let me take a look at what they are. Alright, so these are the packages. This is a new SSD. It's going to triple my solid state capacity. This is a new regular hard drive. And it's going to quadruple my regular hard drive storage. I'm not an expert with computers. This is my computer here, guys. And that's the machine back there. And I learned just enough about computers to build this thing. And after that, forgot most of what I know, so I'm gonna try and get these two installed. I might record it because it's gonna be terrible and I'm gonna look stupid, so yeah, come back and hang out with me for that. Alright guys, I want to take a look at the actual computer. I'm opening it up to clean it as well as to do the upgrades. Something's making way too much noise, one of these fans, but I wanted to show you this because I'm sure people will be curious. It's a i7-4790K to the best of my memory, and then I have a water cooler up top for the CPU, and then there's a GTX 970 and another cheaper GTX 970, and then there's my power supply, fans, my regular hard drive, and my original SSD is hiding around the back. So I'm going to give this thing, I think it's these ones up here. Alright, so I'm taking a look at where that noise is coming from, and this is actually the cleanest my machine has been in a really long time when I've opened it up to dust it. So dust isn't a big issue. This fan here is running on like a normal RPM on the water cooler. This one seems to be on like max RPM. It's running much faster and making an insane amount of noise. And that's where all the volume is coming from. I don't know how bad it is to do that. I don't think it's that bad. See, yeah, you can hear it. So I gotta figure out a way to change that. It must be a software thing. But yeah, it's spinning twice as fast as the other fan and making way more noise. Bizarre. This episode of An Idiot Installs Hard Drives continues. I have another very similar Samsung drive that is gonna go in this computer. So I'm just trying to refresh my memory, and so what I need to go find is a connection for this, and I think we've got them right here along this same strand of whatever these are, connectors. I think these go to the power supply, and then this one will run, this one will run to the motherboard, and so I need to go find one of those. I don't think there's any extras in the machine. You can see what a whiz the guy is that did it. Almost everything is out of sight. I've just pulled some of this crap into view, but yeah, almost everything's out of sight. He did a brilliant job with this, and so I've been afraid to mess it up. But I think I can find another one of these in my box of parts. I think I can probably run it and connect it down to the motherboard and connect. This is already connected to the power supply, and then for the second hard drive, I have, that's a WD Blue. I have another one right here. So I think what I'm going to do is move that one up and put this one on the bottom. And same deal here. I should already have the connectors in place that I need. Here's a free one. There we go. And I'm going to need another one of these, which is the same one that one connects to the motherboard. So I'm going to need to go find two of those, one for each of the new hard drives, and then try and connect them, and then I'll see what happens. Like I said, an idiot attempting to install hard drives. Alright guys, so there is my connections to the motherboard. I hope I've used the SATA Express right. I don't know if you can just use any random port, but I'm stuck with some cables with the right end connection, so I didn't have a whole lot of options. If you come around here, I've got one regular one sticking out because I'll need that to get into the new SSD. And I've got one right angle one because I had to use these, and I think a right angle one will work up in this area, no problem. So just time for me to take this off. I'm going to attach the SSD, try connecting it, and go from there. I may have done it with the SSD. So I think I might have done this right. Got everything neatly tucked in and connected. I think I'm good. Now to move on to the HDD. And once I've got that done, I can test and see if I did this one right. Alright guys, so I'm just screwing the 3 terabyte hard drive into its tray. And it's got these little, I'm not taking the short way out, I'm doing all 4 corners this time, and it's got these little rubber things that go on the screw, I guess, to keep it from vibrating. And once I got this in, it just slides into this rack over here. It's really easy. And I'm going to slide it into the bottom one there, and I think I've got all the connections set up, so we're almost done. Alright, so I fixed it. It was backwards. So if I do this right, this just glides in on a track, clicks into place, and then over here all I have to do is connect the new cables. So let me get to work on that. New SSD hooked up just like the old SSD. Fingers crossed everything works fine. And then on the bottom here, new HDD hooked up exactly the same as the old one. Fingers crossed, yeah, that works as well. I feel good about it. But I have to rearrange my whole setup. I'm going to move my desk, so it's going to be a while before I can test and see if my installation has worked. But I'll be checking back with you guys later, probably recording my home screen and checking out the success. Alright, work in progress, new setup, and I think it's going to be the best setup ever. Check that out. I've always had this weird third monitor, and I've never known what to do with it. It doesn't quite line up with these two, so I think I'm going to try this out, as weird as it is. I think that would be cool. I got to start live streaming soon, and I think this would be a great setup for that. Alright guys, so hang out with me while I try and figure out exactly how to do what I want to do. So these are the old hard drives. You can see how insanely full this one's gotten and why we were in need of an upgrade. This one got insanely full, but I managed to find some hidden files and make some space, and that's my backup. So the 2 new drives aren't showing up here. So I think if I go over here to my computer and I go manage, then I can go to disk management. Now I haven't done this before, but I'm pretty sure this is how it works. Yeah. And so here are my 2 new disks. So that's my SSD, and that's my new hard drive. So 500 gigs and 3 terabytes. So what I need to do is do a new simple volume, and hopefully I'm doing this right. No partitions, have it full size. Assign the drive a following letter. D is perfect. And I think all this works. I'm just going to type the name in here. Alright, good to go. And I think it's going to format it now. Perfect. And that looked instant. So we now should have another, entirely free drive. Okay, now let's see if we can do that with the hard drive as well. So new simple volume, that's the only option. Gonna click next, full size. Assign the letter F. Does that make sense? My other... Yeah, so we have C and D as the SSDs, E and F as the hard drives, and G as the backup. So F is perfect. Alright, ready to roll. And is that going to take time? Formatting. It might. No. I think everything looks good. Okay. And we now have... Look at all this space. Okay, so I have some rearranging of stuff to do, guys. But this all turned out great. So, guys, I did it. Managed not to mess anything up. My computer still works. My old hard drives still work. And I got new hard drives. So I got a lot of rearranging to do. But I'm excited to. And stay tuned if I haven't done it yet. I'm going to start live streaming once every couple of weeks. based on the goal my Patreon hit, and if my Patreon stays where it is come April, I'm gonna have to stream every week. So thank you guys for the support on there, and you gave me the opportunity to make some much needed upgrades to my computer. I just felt comfortable enough to spend the cash on that. These are the first upgrades in 2 years, so I'm excited for it, and I just want to say thanks. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this little video of me trying to get my computer better. So bad at talking. Anyway, thank you for watching, thank you for hanging out with me, and I will see you in the next video like this one.